Learn to drive a car by going to a driving school and taking lessons. I learned to drive by trial and error. This happened in the year of 1936 in July. We got through playing at a place called the Casa Manana with the Joe Venuti Orchestra. We got through playing about 1 o'clock in the morning, and we decided to go to Dallas to have something to eat, which was about 30 miles away. The person I went with was the girl that was in the show, and she had an automobile. So she drove to Dallas. We had our food, and we started to come back about 3:30 in the morning when she got very tired and said that she couldn't drive. Would I drive the car back? Well, I had never driven a car in my life. So I said, sure. I felt that good that it didn't bother me. I got behind the wheel with never ever having to driven a car, and I stepped on the gas and off we went. And I drove to it was 31 miles from Dallas to Fort Worth. And when we got to Fort Worth, it was starting to get daylight. So I started to drive up to the front of the hotel where I stayed, and instead of stepping on the gas, on the contrary, instead of stepping on the brakes, I stepped on the gas. And up on the sidewalk I went after 31 beautiful miles without any errors. Well, no sooner did I get up on the sidewalk and wrap the front of the car around the lamppost, a big Texas cop came over with a big sombrero, and he says, "What are you doing on the sidewalk?" And he didn't ask me for my license. I was waiting, but he didn't. And he says, "Where are you from, stranger?" And I said, "I'm from New York City." And he said, "What are you doing down here?" And I said, "I was working at the Texas BiCentennial, the fairgrounds." And he, instead of yelling at me for the infraction I had of the mistake I had made, he says, "You're at the fairgrounds? Can you get me a ticket?" Well, this was in reverse. Instead of him giving me a ticket, I gave him one. I got him a ticket for the fairgrounds, and thereafter he was my best friend. And it was a good friend to have, because a policeman in Texas, you never know when they can do you a lot of good.